Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Real Talks for the show today. I'm your host, David Steele. Ah, the beauty of technology, guys. Sometimes we just make serious mistakes, and that's what I did. I so for I mean, I wish somebody had told me this. I ended up finding out after the show was over. The mic was muted, so nobody could hear me. Nonetheless, we've got that all corrected. We've got that all figured out. Um, so welcome again to Real Talks. I'm your host, David Steele. Kyle has a day off, so he'll be back joining us later this week. Um, so today is kind of a slow day as far as um, Hollywood is concerned. So what will end up happening is we have a couple stories. Um, and so we're just going to talk about let's dive right into it because we don't have any off the tops, we don't have anything else to go over before we get into it, so let's just do it. So the first story of the day, we were on for 4 hours yesterday, Kyle and myself, and then I had Oscar predictor Matthew Anderson on, who was amazing, and he predicted a lot of these um, categories. So we're going to talk about the Oscar fallout first. And so this is something it happens every year. So the nominations are what everybody looks forward to every single year because they go through, a lot to make these movies. They go through a lot to get them out to the masses, and then we see them. And so that being said, um, we had a lot of we had three films really that really did well. So Everything Everywhere All at Once got 11 nominations. All Quiet on the Western Front and The Banshees of Inisherin got 9 nominations. Um, so there were some other nominations that were a little suspect, to say the least. But and we'll get into that in a couple minutes. So overall, though, it wasn't that bad of a day. So let's get to the winners and losers, if you will. So the winners, okay, I would say one of the major winners is All Quiet on the Western Front. So All Quiet basically, um, they got 9 nominations, and I mean that's a based off the book, okay, All Quiet on the Western Front, and um, so that was a German film, did really well. So that will be interesting to see how that does Oscar night. The other one was Banshee of Inisherin, that had 9 nominations, did really well. Um, so, a lot of those are above the line too, like Best Director and Best Actor and so on. There were, Best Supporting Actor. Um, so, Everything Everywhere All at Once was the big winner though. So that led everybody with 11 nominations. This is a movie that is going to just, I say it all the time. There's always one darling of the Academy every single year. Whether you go back to La La Land, whether you go back to American Hustle that had 10, whatever it is, there's always one darling. And that being said, okay, this had double-digit nominations. I really do hope that this does well, but we'll see. So it's going to be one of those things. Um, so let's talk about some of the other takeaways that were not the best. Okay. So, um, as I said, everything just blew everybody away. Okay, so let's talk about Best Actor first. So Best Actor was one of those that I think they had 3 of them that were just locks all day long, and that was Brendan Fraser for The Whale, Colin Farrell for Banshees, and Austin Butler for Elvis. A lot of people had Bill Knightley in there for Living. The one wild card, if you will, was Top Gun Maverick, or not Top Gun Maverick, Tom Cruise. Was he going to get in there for Best Actor and get another nomination, or who was going to take his place? Well, the Academy said no. We're not going to put Tom Cruise in there. We're going to put Paul Mescal in there, and Aftersun really picked up some momentum. So that was interesting to see. So Paul Mescal got the fifth spot, and I think it was well deserving. I mean, I didn't really have a problem with that. While I could see Tom Cruise getting in there, it wasn't the end of the world that he didn't. So let's move to Best Actress, and this is where I think a lot of um, hoopla was, if you will. So we had two or three locks, if you will. We had Kate Blanchett for Tar. We had Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere at Once. Those weren't the questions. Who were going to get the other? So the third lock, if you will, would have been Anna de Armas, which she did get in with for Blonde, and we'll get into that in a couple minutes. And then um, the other one, okay. So Michelle Williams, that many going back many months, people said, okay, where is she going to land? Is she going to be in Best Supporting Actress, Best Actress? What is she going to do? Wherever she goes is going to be an open slot. Well, she went into Best Actress. And so everybody said, well, who gets the fifth spot? Now, for me, okay, personally speaking, I wanted to see Viola Davis in there. Okay. I think she's well deserving of it. I think she knocked it out of the park in The Woman King. And I think that was a no brainer. The Academy thought otherwise, though. And they nominated Andrea Riseborough, this actress who was in a small little film. And when I say small, it only grossed about $20,000. Okay. And that's called To Leslie. And so essentially what ended up happening was Kate Winslet had made a speech saying she's one of the best actresses she's ever seen. And it just gained momentum and it swelled and swelled and swelled. And next thing you knew, she was getting an Oscar nomination, um, which really said something to the extent of, why aren't you putting Viola Davis in there? Okay. And that really, um, it spoke volumes, essentially, because they were saying, we're not going to reward somebody who, was African American. Um, and The Woman King got shut out of everything, guys. It's not like this was a film that just missed the best actor. No, this got shut out of everything. Screenplay, picture, actress. I mean, across the board. It's really disheartening to see. It really, really is. I love the fact Michelle Yeoh's in there. Okay, I think that she was amazing in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Um, so, and like I said, it's a two-woman race right now: Kate Blanchett and Michelle Yeoh. Now, there's another significant thing here, and that is Anna de Armas getting it. And you say, well, why? Because she's the first actress ever to get in for an NC-17 film. And even the film was absolute crap, okay, she still snuck in. And that makes you wonder, well, and by the way, nobody's going to go out and say, oh, we're all going to do NC-17 films. No. But what does happen is there's precedent. There's precedent here. And what ends up happening is that the next time somebody wants to try and get in, they may think about doing an NC-17 film. Okay? The other thing, too, is this Andrea Riseborough, as I said earlier, that should have been Viola Davis' spot. I'm sorry. That's just me personally. And, I mean, I'm sure she's a great actress. I'm no doubt in my mind. But the way that she got in and how she got in, that's what I have a problem with, and a lot of people have a problem with. Um, so we'll see. And as I said, we'll see how this all shakes out. I mean, I think that the other couple categories, there weren't that many surprises. Best director. I mean, once again, the director of The Woman King shut out. Okay, it was Todd Field for Tar, Steven Spielberg for The Fablemans, Martin McDonagh for Banshees, the Daniels for Everything Everywhere at Once, and the director of Triangle of Sadness. So the other one that was really interesting too was Best Supporting Actress, and this was interesting because okay, that Carrie Condon was a no-brainer. Okay, Angela Bassett is probably the front runner right now. Jamie Lee Curtis, I was so happy to see her get a nomination. You finally have Hung Cho for The Whale and Stephanie Chu for Everything Everywhere All at Once. What's significant about this is not only is Angela Bassett the favorite right now, okay, but she could be the first woman to ever win a Academy Award above the line for Marvel, which would be huge. I mean, there have been some good performances, but nothing like hers. And that's going to be the clip that you're going to see Oscar night and everything else. And I loved it, and I really hope that she wins. And so that in itself is fantastic. I think, like I said, Best Supporting Actor is a lock. Although, I mean, there were a couple of interesting choices. I mean, Kiwai Kwan is your favorite. I mean, if he doesn't win, there needs to be an investigation. Um, Brendan Gleeson for Banshees, Judd Hurst for The Fablemans, Brian Tyrese Henry for Causeway, and Barry Cogden for Banshees. I think that Brendan's nomination and Barry's kind of cancel each other out. Okay. Um, but the two spots that will remain, okay, are Judd Hurst and Brian. So I don't know. I mean, truth be told, I didn't get a chance to see the Fablemans, but from what I'm told, he only had really one or two good scenes in it to really um, make his mark. So I don't know. But overall, what I would say is this, okay, that I think that there needs to be better representation, hands down. You could have easily nominated Viola Davis. I'm not saying it had to be 5 or 6 nominations, although that would have been fantastic. They wouldn't have done that, but that would have been that would have been really great to see. I think that the fact that she was omitted speaks volumes, and so we'll move on, and hopefully, I mean, look, Viola Davis is going to continue doing fantastic, fantastic, fantastic work. I have no doubt in my mind. And she's just going to keep killing it. So I can't wait to see what she does next. So, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about the Oscar nominations yesterday? Did you like them? Who do you think got snubbed? Who do you think is going to win? Give me your thoughts down in the comment section. I'm really, really curious to see what you think.